welcome in to the DNVR Rockies Podcast. I am your host, Suzie Hunter. We've got Kale Sorbo producing today. We are air horns. We identify as air horns, and you can't argue with that. We have a show for you. We have a casual Friday show for you today. It still rocks after dark, in my opinion. But, you know, it's noon, mountain time.
Casual Fridays, as we'll call them.
Casual Fridays. Yes, this is a casual Friday. We are going to talk about some casual topics, like what happened at the GM meetings that they just got freaking canceled for the rest of them. Oh, yeah, everyone got sick. Like, to the point where the hotel that they were all at had to put out a statement being like, this isn't our fault.
That's wild.
Like, they all got some virus, like the freaking neurovirus that everyone got on that cruise that one time. It's giving that.
It's giving that. It's brutal.
It's giving that. Well, like originally, like Sports Illustrated put out an article about this, and it was like, well, at first the people who got sick, it was like 30 different executives who got sick, like all at the same time. So they were like, oh, it must have been the buffet. That's the only place where they were all at. So I think like the Omni probably saw that, and they were like, can you not blame us?
That's wild.
But then, like, other people got sick afterwards, so they were like, okay, it's not a foodborne thing. It is just a thing that people are catching from each other.
Where is the GM meetings?
So this year they're in Scottsdale. They were at the Omni Hotel in Scottsdale.
Okay, so
and
something's going around Scottsdale.
It was a disaster. It was a disaster. I don't know why I'm laughing. We're going to talk about, who's on the market, who's not on the market. We're going to talk about the NL West. Is the NL West still a powerhouse? Is it safe to say that the NL West isn't a powerhouse when a team in the NL West won the fucking National League Championship?
They did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, Things be amuck in San Diego, so
things are very amuck, and the Dodgers also. I mean, like they were just like the way I described them, they were like limp.
Yeah,
just like so, like they weren't like the Dodgers that like we're used to seeing just like run through the NL West.
No, although they did technically do that.
They ran through the Rockies, that's for sure. And I'm sure. I mean, I know that the Diamondbacks fans loved seeing the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers in the postseason.
If I were, as a Rockies fan, if that were to happen to us, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I would run through this brick wall. This one.
Please don't do that. You would get a concussion. And
that would hurt so much.
That would hurt a lot.
I'm not the Kool-Aid man. I can't pull that off. Bam. And guys, remember car phones? We were just talking about this in the office. I don't know if Gen Z know what car phones are. We asked our resident, youngest Gen Z member, Nick, who is now 22 years old.
Yeah, he might be 22.
I think he's 22 now. He just had a birthday. But Nicholas, who makes a lot of our social media videos, didn't really know what a car phone was. He was like, right, it's like in the glove boxes, and it was huge. And it was the size of the whole car. And
He's like, I've heard of them, yeah.
He's heard of them, but he doesn't really get how they work. So anyway, that's what we're wondering. Do you guys remember car phones? Who in our viewership is pre-car phone and post-car phone?
I think I might be the cutoff for this.
Yeah.
I doubt anyone younger than me saw a car phone because it's just in my most distant memories.
They also weren't very popular. I feel like by the time car phones became accessible and affordable for a wide variety of people, that's when cell phones came out and those are just more convenient.
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my dad had a car phone and the car, I was very little. So I don't remember even what car it was, but I remember there being a car phone right where the center console should be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like my aunt had a car that had a car phone in it, but she never used it. Because she never needed it. She was a teacher.
That's fair. My dad was a businessman, so he used that car phone all the time.
I was going to say, that's how you know your parents were successful if, it was in the 90s and you remember vaguely them having a car phone.
It do be like that.
It do be like that. Dave Mensing, the bag phone. Those were a thing, too. It was like a phone. It was like a big satchel, like a giant satchel. And it was like this big rectangle thing. And there was a phone attached to it. And not that I remember seeing anyone use them, but I feel like I've seen pictures of them.
See, this one I went over my head. I've never seen that.
They are a thing, but I don't know anyone personally who had them. Guys, these are the important topics that we talk about on this off-season baseball podcast. Not a ton of Rockies news right now, you guys, but Benny Montgomery is getting a little bit of attention today. The Arizona Fall League is wrapping up, and Benny Montgomery is ending on a high note. He homered last night. It was his third homer this Arizona Fall League. So that came in the top of the third inning for the Salt River Rafters. Listen, this is what we were missing from him all of this whole past season in Spokane. He can make contact, but we needed more power combined with that contact, and this is great to see. But he went 1 for 5 last night. But that one was the home run, 438-foot home run. That's some power right there, folks. I like to see that. And his final line for the Arizona Fall League, 333, 436, 500. So yeah, ended the fall season with 2 doubles, 3 homers, and 10 stolen bases. I like the progress Benny Montgomery is making. Now, again, he spent all of the season in Spokane. Where does he end up next year? Let's find out. I hope he's in Hartford. I think he's a good Hartford. That's a good Hartford name, you know, Benny Montgomery. I think they would like him.
It sounds straight out of a Connecticut catalog.
It does. This is Bennington Montgomery III. We're from Stamford.
Yeah, something like that.
Jan, or is it Jan? Good evening from Belgium. Go Rockies. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. What time is it in Belgium? Let me guess. They're probably 9 hours ahead.
Let me look it up.
I'm going to guess you guys are 9 hours ahead of us. Let me know in the chat what time zone you're in.
It is 8:13 p.m., so they are 8 hours ahead of us.
Okay, I was not
close.
too far
You were
off.
close.
I'm getting so much better at time zones. I tried to schedule an interview with, actually, I was trying to schedule Cody from CHGO to call into the show the other day. And I was like, cool, can you call in? I gave him like some, like, I was like, can you call in at 11 a.m. Central Time? And I'm like, wait, that's not right. My show is not at 11 a.m. Central Time.
No, it would be 1 p.m. Central Time. Yeah.
Yeah. The joke, like when I first moved here, especially, I was just like, what time is it on the East Coast? What time is it here?
It's just plus 2 hours.
I know, but like I always like go the wrong way.
Okay.
Which is sad. Maybe I'm not very smart.
It's because you grew up on East Coast time, so everything was just published in Eastern time, so you never had to think about it.
I never once had to think about time zones.
No. Versus when you grow up in the Mountain Time Zone, nothing is ever published in Mountain Time, so you're adding an hour, subtracting 2, like you're doing whatever. Because it's either published West Coast or East Coast time, right?
Yes.
So like people often completely forget the Mountain Time Zone exists. Like you'll talk to people in the Midwest, they'll be like, "Oh, there's a time zone in between us and the West Coast."
Oh, that's just rude.
I mean, it is, but we win because the Mountain Time Zone is the best time zone for watching sports.
It is the best time zone
It's
for
the best
watching.
time zone for watching sports.
You
Nothing's
can't
on
even
too
argue.
early.
Yep.
Nothing's on way too late. It's the best.
It is truly the best. That is like that is one of my favorite things about living here. Is that like World Series wasn't on too late? Football doesn't start too early. I think 11 a.m. start times, perfect. 10 a.m. start times, disgusting.
10 a.m. start time for football, way too early. You don't have enough time to do things in the morning. Versus here, you can do something in the morning and then go to the bar for football.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere before 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Not a single place. Not a single place. Wakasa de Beast. I wish this teen can do something. I'm going to assume you meant team. Although we do have some young talent. We're going to talk about Ezekiel Tovar, of course, because what the heck else are we going to talk about on this Rockies show? But first, maybe we should talk about Hero Bread. Let's shout out our friends at Hero Bread. They hooked us up with their wraps. I know I got the wraps at home, and I think the best thing that you can say about this is that it just tastes like a wrap. It doesn't taste like it's anything different, but this is so much more different than the wraps that you are used to, because these are low carb, they are high protein, they are just such a great fit for, whatever your diet or nutrition goals are. I love them. Folks, they taste just like a freaking wrap. I've been making little breakfast burritos with them almost every morning. They're great. But yeah, the taste and texture, totally spot on. They're high fiber. They are low net carb. There's no sugar. And we got a good discount code going on too, guys. So Hero Bread is offering the DNVR fam 10% off their first order. Go to hero.co and use code DNVR to save on Hero Bread today. That's HERO.co to save 10% off today. Big fan of Hero Bread fam. Big freaking fam. Big fan of Saturday Neon too, because Saturday Neon is going to light up your man cave, your bar area, wherever you're putting it up in your office. They're lighting it up every day of the week. This was a company started by two friends who were roommates at CU. They are now making officially licensed collegiate LED signs They've got officially licensed stuff for 19 select schools, and that includes Colorado, Arizona, Alabama, Wisconsin, Auburn, so many others. I bet that there's a sign for your team. So if you've got an office, a man cave, a dorm room, a basement, a bar area that maybe needs like just a little extra something, these are fantastic for that. They are... Again, LED neon signs, great for gifts too. So if you know someone who you think might want this for the holidays, guys, it's coming up. Head to SaturdayNeon.com right now. Use code DNVR. You're going to get 10% off your order today and free shipping over $200. Again, that's SaturdayNeon.com. Use code DNVR. All right, Kale, it is that time of the day where we talk about Ezekiel Tovar. Now, we're going to talk about some other stuff too, but the rookies ranked. They have been ranked. MLB.com does this every season where they rank rookies in terms of long-term value. And two Colorado Rockies, two of their rookies, their stock is way up after this season. Ezekiel Tovar made the list at number 14. That's good, guys. Number 14 on the list because, one, he's a Gold Glove finalist. Okay. This is what they wrote up on him. A Gold Glove finalist. Tovar has bat to ball skills and some sneaky pop, but undermined them both by losing his discipline at the plate. Time is still on his side because he's one of the youngest players on this list. It's a very fascinating list. They've been doing this list for a long time too. Corbin Carroll was not number 1 on the list. He was not. He was number 2. But to be fair, the writers of this list, they do this every year. The number 1 pick is apparently like the toughest one. And I guess apparently, in 2016 when they put this together, it was Corey Seager versus Alex Bregman. Okay, obviously those two guys, those picks have aged pretty well. In 2018, it was Ronald Acuna Jr. versus Juan Soto versus Shohei Ohtani. Guess what? All of those guys are still pretty freaking good players.
Good at baseball.
They're still very good at baseball, Kale. In 2019, it was Vlad Jr. versus Fernando Tatis Jr.
Both still very good at baseball.
Still very good. Even 2022, Julio Rodriguez versus Adley Rutschman fighting for that number 1 spot. Still really good guys. Still really good. But yeah, Carroll versus Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson got the number 1 spot. So yeah. Yeah, we got some good rookies floating around, including right here in the NL West. Nolan Jones also made the list, though. So the first 15 got the actual write-up in the story, but they ranked all the way down to number 35. Nolan Jones just eked in on that list at number 35.
Too low.
What?
He's too low.
He's too low. I thought you said Tulo, like you were comparing him to Troy Tulowitzki.
I can see where the confusion would come. We are on a Rockies podcast.
We are. I feel like Troy Tulowitzki is like saying Macbeth in a theater situation.
Maybe.
I think it might be. I think we should actually stop
saying Tulo.
We should stop saying it. What do we call him? So like what Macbeth if you're talking about it but not talking about it? What is the Scottish play?
Yeah. You would say the Scottish play.
What's the equivalent of Tulowitzki?
The player who wore number 2.
The player who wore number 2.
The player who wore number 2.
And we're not talking about Jonathan Daza.
No, we are not.
All right. So the player who wore number 2. I like that. Our Backus and Schenker dude.
Our Backus and Schenker dude.
But yes, Nolan Jones, too low on that list. A lot of talent on that list, though. And it's really cool that the Rockies had 2 guys on this list of rookies that are seen as having the best long-term value. I think that's a really good sign Because obviously we know, you and I know, me, you, the viewers, Kale, all of us, everyone here in the room, we all know that we're not going to be ready next year. So we need guys who are still going to be good 5 years from now, please.
Yeah, it'll be big. Because you've got some other guys that are coming up in the system that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I want Zach Veen to be healthy again, so we can see him
Gotta get healthy
this year.
first. Gotta get healthy first.
I want to see him this year so bad. I really thought we were going to see him this year. And he thought that he was going to be up in Colorado this year. And that's why he pushed through that injury.
Yeah. But it'll be good. He'll probably start the year in Hartford, which is good for him. And I think he'll be all right.
I feel like he spent so much time in Hartford. I was surprised last year that he started the year in Hartford again.
Really?
I was actually so shocked because...
So you think he goes straight to Albuquerque, coming off of an injury?
I think after this spring training, he goes straight to Albuquerque.
Okay.
I think if he has a good spring training. If he has a terrible spring training, then no, he's not going straight to Albuquerque. Yeah. But I think he just goes straight to Albuquerque this year.
I was just thinking coming off of an injury, they wanted to play it slow. But, I could be right. But AAA might be playing it slow enough.
Yeah. I just think... I don't know. I mean, I think like they probably would like him to be more used to playing at altitude.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Because even the cardio portion of it, like just running,
especially with in a big outfield like he's going to be put in, like that'll be you're right.
Were you you weren't producing me the other day when it's so funny. So when Bretton Doyle did his interview after he won the Gold Glove for center field.
Yeah.
Like Renee from Purple Row asked, like, what are your off-season plans? Just like such a nice little question. And he was like, I need to like gain weight back because he lost 20 pounds just running around in the outfield. Like that's how much cardio you're doing as an outfielder for the Rockies.
That's crazy. I mean, it is the biggest outfield in the big leagues.
But 20 pounds?
That's a lot of weight.
And like these guys are well fed too during the season.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight to lose.
These dudes eat like kings. How the hell did he lose 20 pounds? And also he's only been with the Rockies since April?
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. So
I don't know,
that's a lot of weight to lose. It's a good just do the protein shake every morning and then eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Good for you, Brett.
I think he's doing that. But very fascinating stuff, in my personal opinion. Very fascinating. Guys, also feel free to hop in the chat. I see some of you in here. I love it. I appreciate it. If you have questions, concerns, if you're wondering things about what these Colorado Rockies are up to, I got your answers. So far this offseason, the Rockies have really just done one thing. Aside from doing the thing they had to do, clearing room on the 40-man. They picked up a guy off waivers from Tampa, and he's still on the 40-man. I don't know. We have him. Beeks. I love having a bullpen with a guy named Bird and a guy named Beeks. I think that's so funny.
The birds and the beaks.
The birds and the beaks. It's hilarious. Freaking hilarious. You know what, Kale?
What's up?
Who do you think is going to be better at the end of their career, Nolan Jones or Ezekiel Tovar? That's the question I'm wondering. Because right now, of course, they're both great rookies.
Yeah. Gosh.
And Tovar's like the guy that we've always expected to rise to greatness. But Nolan Jones he's not someone we expected in the outfield because he wasn't an outfielder before last year.
That's fair. I think I'm actually going to say no, Joe. I think he, there's something to the way that, he got to the big leagues and just, shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
And I think that, might be, an exponential growth type situation versus Tovar's, always been that dude and is kind of the same dude he's always been, which is a very good baseball player who is going to play for a long time.
Yes. He's going to have a very long career.
Very long career, very good player. I think, but I think Nojo's got, superstar upside.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hedge my bets there.
Interesting. Yeah, I think, and also think about just how many touted prospects never amount to anything. We were talking about this, I think maybe last week. Who is the biggest bust in terms of Rockies first round draft picks? My pick for maybe the biggest bust because I went down a whole rabbit hole in this. Casey Weathers.
Yeah, I mean, he did nothing.
Total rando.
Yeah.
Total rando. He never debuted. He was just in a bunch of different minor league systems. His claim to fame, I think like the best, I think here's the only thing he ever did for the Rockies. The only thing he ever actually did for the Rockies, he was traded to the Cubs for DJ LeMahieu, who we didn't even get to keep.
Yeah, but
because the Rockies fumbled the bag.
The Rockies fumbled that bag, yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying before that?
I was just going to say, like, still, good trade.
A good trade, but, like, honestly, like, we have nothing to show for that first-round draft pick right here. And he was a first-round draft pick in... Oh, that was 2007. So he was a first-round draft pick the year they went to their only World Series. That's something. Imagine. Oh yeah. So he was a pitcher. So he had Tommy John, and just like never really did anything. Never debuted. And had a coaching career. Yeah, that's my pick for biggest bust.
You're probably right. You did the research.
I really did. I really did. Well, who was the Phillies? The Phillies had like a first overall pick who like didn't debut until like this year or last year, and he ended up like recently retiring. But like it was like a Winton Bernard kind of situation where he was like 32 years old debuting, and did not last long in the majors. At least he got to debut. Do you think we'll see Winton Bernard in the majors again?
No. I love Winton Bernard, but I think that's where he's at in his career.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see him in the majors again. Unless, like, I mean, honestly, if we saw him with the Rockies again, like, it would have to be like if it was a situation like this year where everyone got injured.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just needed someone who could be out catching a ball.
It would be similar to that, yeah.
That is pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff, Kale. Pretty wild stuff. Wild stuff happens all the time. And if something happens to you and you have been injured, call our friends at Backus & Schenker. Because when you get hurt, Backus & Schenker is here to help. And Backus & Schenker wins for Colorado families. They've been doing this for more than 25 years. It's totally free until they win money in your case. No fee to talk to someone about your case. They will work on it, and you're not going to pay them a dime until you get a lot of dime. They've won a lot of dimes. They've won more than $1 billion for their clients. And they've got the strength and power to win your case too. More than 30 lawyers, more than 100 staff. So here's what you're going to do if you are injured in a situation that wasn't your fault. Car accident, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. So call them at all twos. 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Because Backus & Schenker wins. And you guys, our friends at FOCO, they are always hooking it up in general, too. They are the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise. They've got apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. And they've got great officially licensed gear for all sports, all fandoms. Again, this is like the best place to go to if you want to get all of your holiday shopping out of the way right now. They have so much stuff. They have something for everyone. Awesome pieces. They've got, like normal stuff, like a polo or like a t-shirt. And they've got the wild stuff, like the overalls. They've got everything.
The overalls really had a moment there for a sec.
They were so big this postseason. I think we're still in that moment.
I mean, like the overalls are huge, but like they really like those Phillies overalls when they were in the championship round, like
they were the poster child for those overalls.
That's what I mean. Like they had a moment there during the World Series.
This is true. They really did. The Phillies weren't in the World Series though.
That was sorry to remind you.
It's okay. I was just actually trying to forget that I ever even watched baseball.
Yeah.
After the Phillies got cut, by the way, after they did not advance onto the World Series, I was just I actually never liked baseball. I hate it. It's the worst. Where were we? FOCO. We're talking about the overalls, guys. FOCO always has our back for Colorado sports. They have yours too. Get the best gear around by using the link in the description of this podcast. And for all non-presale items, use promo code DNVR. That is going to score you 10% off. Again, that's code DNVR. Use the link in our description so they know that we sent you. All right. And that's that. And we are going to talk about... We're going to talk about some free agents. We're going to talk about... Let's talk about Brad Hand. Where does Brad Hand end up? Brad Hand, the Braves declined his option, so he will not be sticking around with the Braves. The question is, do you think Brad Hand ends up back with the Rockies? Brad Hand was already kind of a random... I consider him a rando, but that spring training pickup, we needed arms in the bullpen. That was around the time that we found out Lucas Gilbreth was getting Tommy John after ending the season injured and then coming back to spring training and realized, oh, I'm actually even more injured. That sucked. And then the same thing happened to Marquez.
Yeah. Same thing did happen to Marquez.
I hated that. Where was I? Yeah, Brad Hand. Brad Hand. Do you think Brad Hand ends up back with the Rockies? Obviously, the Rockies need relievers. We need arms. We picked up such a random arm. He's pretty good with us. Is better than he was with Atlanta. Atlanta, things just but I think we wore him out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he ends up back here.
I don't think he does either. I don't think he would want to. Mark in the chat, 50-50 Hand is back on the Rockies. I think it is that's kind of the odds I'm thinking.
It would make sense. If it happened, you're he needs a spot. Rockies need arms, Rockies always need arms, just live arms that they can throw out there.
Yes.
So,
because shit happens,
Yeah, someone gets hurt every year. It's just the Rockies pitching rotation is a mess of injuries every year. So
knock on wood.
Hopefully that changes.
What is even the rotation going to look like this coming season? Because we won't have Marquez back right away. We won't have Senza back right away, obviously.
I don't know. It's going to be... We'll see. Spring training will be really interesting. I mean, you've got obviously your opening day starter is probably Kyle, but outside of that,
probably.
Yeah. Outside of that, I don't know what it's going to look like. Because then hopefully once you get Marquez and Senza back, then you're running, a strong 3 frontman rotation. You've probably got a 4th guy that you throw in there and then you throw. They don't really have a 5th guy, though, to put into a starting rotation for the early regular season. I
think Ryan Feltner will be a good dude to be in that, a 4 or 5 guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was pretty good last year until his very catastrophic injury.
Yeah, totally. I forgot about that.
He was a starter.
He'll be back pitching.
You keep forgetting because we lost 5 starters within 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, that happened.
That is the thing that happened. Yes. So that's why I wonder. I'm where's Brad Hand going to be? Where is he going to be? I just wonder who else will want him. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, but obviously he's struggled on a big stage.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it would make a lot of sense if he ended up back here.
Yeah.
So, never say never.
I could see a repeat happening, though, where, he comes back to Colorado and then he gets traded at the deadline.
Yeah, that absolutely could happen.
It would be under the dumbest circumstances. Yeah. There's some arms still on the trade, not the trade market, but, on the free agent market.
Yeah, they could sign a couple guys. I don't think they're going to go spend huge money on anybody, though.
No. You know what? Okay, so I was looking at all the transactions on MLB.com, as I do. Kale just made fun of me doing this. Hector Neris is a free agent. Hector Neris was with the Astros for the past couple of seasons. But before that, he was with the Phillies. I used to be on this Phillies podcast where this was their guy that they... just could not stand on the Phillies because he would be so stressful in those relief situations. So I could totally see the Rockies being let's grab him. He's been fine with the Astros, though, actually.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I could see the Rockies, if no one else wants Hector Neris, but Hector Neris was so stressful for the Phillies. Mark in the chat, I hope the Rockies actually sign 2 solid starters to start the season. I think we need... some freaking starters. Can we get a rental out here or something? My gosh.
That'd be cool.
Zach Greinke is a free agent. That weirdo, that fascinating weirdo, who's also like 40 something. I think he's like 42 or maybe 41. Zach Greinke is not as young as I thought he was. For some reason, I didn't like think he was already up there, but he is. But that is a guy. I feel like that's the guy that Patrick is like, you don't think Zach Greinke's not going to be a Rocky ever? And I'm like, never. And now I'm sitting here for the first time ever on November 10th being like, maybe.
It's a soft maybe.
A soft maybe. The softest maybe.
That's a soft maybe.
It's a soft maybe.
Which, like, it used to be like a no. So, soft maybe. We're moving up.
I'm softening up to the idea of Zach Greinke. Guys, I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all watching. Is there a pitcher, a reliever, a player? Is there anyone on your wish list that you would want to see the Rockies snag? Let me know in the chat. We will talk about it. We'll debate it. I wonder if Bill Schmidt got sick at GM meetings. I wonder if any Rockies people got sick.
I'm sure someone did.
That sucks.
If everybody got sick, yeah, that's sort of how that works.
That just sucks so much. Oh, man. Man, that is crazy. You know who else is a free agent right now?
Who?
Joe Kelly.
Oh.
Joe Kelly's a free agent. I think he was injured this season. But I don't remember now.
So hard to keep up.
Joe Kelly's another one that's been around for a bit, for a minute. You know, it's been around for a while here in Colorado.
What has?
Our friends at Illegal Pete's. Our friends. I'm sorry. Do we have a ticket promo going on right now? Yes. Oh my gosh. Where do I even start with this? Oh my. An Avs ticket giveaway? Hold on. What is happening?
I don't think
here?
It's a giveaway. I think you get. I think if you bring
promo.
in, if you bring in your Avs, Buffs, or Nuggets ticket, you will get. I think it's a free queso.
Okay, yeah, from the queso to burrito boxes and party marks, they've got everything covered for your crew. But if you have tickets to a game this season, head to Illegal Pete's before or after any ticketed event and score a free house marg or draft beer with their soundcheck promo. Illegal Pete's is your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. And I will say it's my go-to spot for reverse nachos.
Love reverse nachos.
My freaking
the
favorite
3 Bs,
food.
burritos, buddies, and beer.
Yeah.
The holy 3 Bs.
Mm-hmm. The holy 3 Bs. And maybe blunts. But they don't sell
that's
there.
a fourth beer. That's a fourth B, but you have to provide that on your own.
It's BYOB. Yeah. BBB.
BYOB before you hit the BBB.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Kale, should I even talk about what happened to me this week? After I left the tasting room of a different sponsor?
No. No, we should not do this.
But I did go to Breck for a night, and it was lovely. And I went to the Breck tasting room.
It was great.
And I had a great time, and that's it.
And Suzie lost her phone. What?
Suzie lost her phone for like 20 hours. So Kale was like one of the first people I contacted, too, because I was like, if anyone's like looking for me, like, can you let them know?
Yeah, it was true. It was. I had to text people and be like, Suzie doesn't have a phone.
And if you need her, you have to go through me. And then my momager tried to sue me because you were taking over manager duties, and she didn't like that.
That's fair.
No, my mom thought I was faking it because she thought I was mad at her.
That's hilarious. No, but there is... Our GM refers to me as the Suzie Whisperer, which I think is the funniest thing in the world.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's what Andre calls me.
How are you? You're the Suzie Whisperer?
I'm the Suzie Whisperer.
You're the only one who can make something make sense to me? What does that even mean?
I don't even know. I think it's just the fact that we're friends.
Oh, okay. Yes, Kayla and I are besties outside of the show, too.
It works great.
Shout out to the owner of Marigolds in Breckenridge, though. She is the one who found my phone in the snow. It fell out of my pocket in the snow, so like nothing like crazy happened. But it was snowing like crazy. So everyone got their Christmas presents from Marigolds in Breck. Because I picked up the phone, and I was like, oh, now I have to shop.
Now I have to support. I'll bet you it was a good store, though.
It was cute as hell. It was like actually such a girly store.
I mean, the name is Marigolds.
It was perfect.
Yeah, I expected that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have a sweatshirt now, too.
Love that. Because you went to Breckenridge.
Because I went to Breckenridge. So, of course, I had to get this, like, Breckenridge sweatshirt. So that's what I've been up to. And then I came back from not having a phone. And then I was like, wait, all of the GMs got sick at winter meetings? Like, what the fuck happened?
That's hilarious.
It is pretty funny. Coming up at DNVR, we've got a tailgate tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Buffs tailgate. This one's free. It's the last one of the season, so it's free.
Ooh.
I don't know where it is. I should look that up. I can do that right now. Talk while I do that.
Guys, while Kayla is looking that up, we do have we still have this giveaway going on. No, we don't still have this giveaway going on. It just ended. Sorry if you missed it. No, but if you guys are diehards, if you guys aren't diehards, you should be diehards. You get a free shirt when you sign up, 20% off all merch, always. 15% off at the bar, always. Yeah, crazy.
So it's at Benson Field. Is
Benson
the tailgate
Field.
tomorrow. We're partnering with Forever Buffs, and it's free. So come out.
That's huge. Yeah.
Breckenridge Brews, I think, and that type of thing, and it'll be a great time. And I'll be there. So.
And you'll be there. Are you working or are you there for fun or both?
I'm a little bit of both. But I'm shooting the Buffs game because RG is in Toronto for the Hall of Fame this weekend, so I'm on a little sub duty.
Are they inducting him into the Hall of Fame in Canada?
Yeah.
Did
RG
he do something horrible in Canada?
Eric Lacroix's dad, Pierre Lacroix, who unfortunately passed a couple years ago, but they're inducting him into the Hall of Fame.
Oh my gosh.
Eric is out there, so obviously big weekend for the Avs. Avs legend Pierre Lacroix going into the Hall of Fame. So they're all out there covering that. It'll be great.
That's really cool. Okay, that's amazing.
So look out for, Megan Angley, Eric Lacroix, and RG are all out there. So look out for a ton of exclusive content coming from there. They've got interviews set up with a bunch of people who I can't even say yet, but it'll be very, very cool.
This is juicy stuff, you guys. That's so fun. Yes, and you'll be covering the Buffs game.
Yep. So there'll be a bunch of pictures and videos coming out from that as well. What else is coming up at DNVR? Oh, we've got an event this afternoon.
We have an event this afternoon?
Yeah. At Live Pod and then party afterwards at the Basketball Social House. It's about 30 minutes south of Denver.
Ooh.
But yeah, Basketball House, we're doing a live show there, and then we're doing like a 3-point competition, songboard shuffle competition, a bunch of stuff. So come out, meet all the DNVR Nuggets guys. I think all 6 of us are going to be there.
I was going to say, I feel like Nuggets is the beat that has like the most unhinged personalities.
Yes, that's true.
Across the board.
Yeah, but we are fun. So.
And which is what I love about you guys.
It's great.
That's what makes Nuggets coverage so great.
Yeah, so I think all of us are going to be there. I think even Dev's going to be there. So I think it should be fun. Even Dev.
The side note on Dev, he was like serving looks at the first takeover. Like he was wearing like this Louis Vuitton t-shirt. Like he looked fly as hell.
Oh, Dev's drip game is unmatched.
It's unmatched, but like I kept seeing like all these other people that like I don't know, like posting, like zooming in on his outfit from afar, like on their phone. I was like, this is hysterical.
That's hilarious. My favorite is Dev has become a legitimate celebrity. Like, so walking around with him at a ball arena is hilarious. Because,
my gosh.
There's people like, oh my God, that's Dev.
I scootered to the parade with him and like a bunch of, the guys. We were all scooting down at the same time. And people kept stopping Dev for pictures because he was wearing like the yellow polo and like the jeans.
Oh, yeah, he wore the whole like Denver Nuggets guy.
The Denver Nuggets guy thing, yeah. He's such a superstar. But that's literally
his name is Superstar Dev.
Superstar Dev. Yeah, we all know that. We all know this is the best place to get all of your off-season Rockies coverage, guys. Follow us at DNVR_Rockies. You know that if something happens in the Rockies universe, either within it or adjacent to it, we're going to let you know about it. DNVR_Rockies on Twitter. DNVR Sports on Instagram. Kale, where can we follow you?
On Twitter, I am at Kale Sorbo with 2 L's. On Instagram, I am at Blue Eyes with a Backpack.
Because he's blue eyes in a backpack.
True.
For his photography. Guys, you can follow me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. I will be right back here on Monday at noon. We're going to have a very reasonable, informative, educational program.
It'll be nothing like today.
It'll be nothing like today. It'll be a fucking mess. No, it'll be everything like today. No, we're going to keep an eye on the news and see what happens. And I bet we will find something that we can all talk about on Monday. But guys, please join us on the DNVR Sports YouTube channel at noon on Monday Mountain Time. And Kale, you know what I like to say?
What do you say about closing the show, Suze?
I like to say, fuck it, we ball. Have a great weekend, guys. I will talk to you on Monday.
We all silly like the mayor.